So have you ever walked into a house and you looked at it and you're like, how in the world did this property get listed? I've been there before too. So something that I always recommend is when you're getting ready to list a property is to do a final walkthrough. Yourself or somebody that you trust on your team to do a final walkthrough and create a punch out list. So this property is going on the market tomorrow, was going on the market tomorrow. So that's why we're here today to do a walkthrough. So I'm gonna show you some of the things to look for when you're getting ready to list the properties. This is Austin Rutherford, where we talk business, finance, and real estate. So first things first, you gotta start on the outside, curb appeal, right? When somebody pulls up to the house, they have to want the property. So when you pull up to this house, when you're looking, first thing I see is terrible landscaping. So there's weeds, there's bushes, there's no mulch, there's like Sprite cans, it just looks horrible, right? So first things first that we're gonna do is we're gonna landscape this entire property. So, and as we walk around, you'll see how bad the landscaping truly is. Next thing that I see is that this new concrete right here, but when you go up to the front porch, it's like mismatched stuff. So they painted it, but then it deteriorated. So we have to repaint it. And then if you look underneath the door right there, you got to put a trim kit down underneath the door right there. So you got to make the curb appeal look good. That's the most important thing. And as we walk around here, so this is not a property that we own over here, but you got to understand when people come to look at the house, they're going to be looking at the neighborhood. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean this up for them so then our house looks good. So we're going to landscape that. We're going to landscape all this right here. Again, just a whole bunch of weeds. You know, they're saying they're done with the house. Obviously it's not done. We got to do the landscaping. So if you look right here, actually, there's gutters on the front porch, which obviously you need gutters. But then if you look on the main house, there's no gutters on the main house, which when you see it, that's why the basement is completely soaked of water, because there's no gutters on the house. So landscaping out back here gets even better. This landscaping is like a beautiful jungle that, you know, somebody wants to come in here and buy it and live in it. No, they don't want to buy that and live in that. So outside needs a lot of work. Long story short, a lot of landscaping. We're going to pour a gravel parking pad out back here. It's just going to look like a million times better on the outside. And another big thing, I don't think you can see it on this side. Let's pop back over here. If you look at the house, so like look kind of underneath the window, you got like the stains and stuff. This is actually not that bad. The front and the other side are horrible, but it needs power washed. It's absolutely dirty as crap. So the house needs power washed, again, to make the curb appeal look good. So first things first is always the outside. You got to make it pop. Next thing's the inside, come on. So on the inside, the next thing that you have to look at first is obviously like the big things, like the kitchens and the bathrooms, and we'll get to that in a second, but it's the small details. When buyers buy houses, they look at the very small details. So I don't know if you can get this on camera, but if you look at this trim right here, there's nail holes that aren't caulked, and this needs painted. So all this stuff needs painted because that's what buyers actually look at the end of the day. And if you want to get like really, really detailed, when you're installing trim, right here, like this just looks awful. It looks terrible. It needs to be cut at a 45-degree angle so the connection actually looks good. So again, these are just really small detailed things that buyers can potentially look at. And then one of the biggest things, paint jobs, like they can make or break houses, right? Again, I don't know if you can get this on the camera, but if you look here, you have gray on the wall, white on the ceiling, and like an off-white in between. So what happened is that when they painted the ceiling, they didn't paint all the way to the wall. So it's called cutting in the paint. So that just looks horrible. They didn't paint the ceiling. So now they have to come in here and cut in the paint all the way around to make it a fully painted house. So this is the washer and dryer room. You know, this is very dirty. Like it's really simple. We got to clean it. You look at this, dirty, got to clean it. You look at this is a dryer vent. The problem is, let me see if I can get this open for you guys. So the problem is if you look in here, it's installed backwards. This is supposed to be on the outside and the pipe is supposed to be on the inside so you can actually connect the pipe to blow the dust out, but it's installed backwards. So again, final walkthroughs are very important. So if you back up here, this is actually the kitchen too. So kitchens and bathrooms sell houses, right? So you look at the kitchen doesn't look that bad. You know, it's got nice blue cabinets, it's got granite countertops, it's got backsplash, it's got stainless steel appliances. It has a lot of nice things in the kitchen, right? But some things that I notice, you see here, there's a pool. You see here, there's not a pool. You see this door, there's not a pool. So like, that's a problem. Everything else has pools. Right here, no pools. they gotta have pools. So it has to match, obviously. And then super, super detailed stuff. Like if you look here, like this is white caulk. So like they need to clean that up to make it look good. Again, super small details, but these are the things that you gotta be looking for, because when a buyer walks into your house, that's what they're looking for, right? And then the other thing is, I don't know if you can see them, there's a fly flying back and forth here. But nobody wants to walk into a house with a bunch of flies. So we got to solve the fly problem. We got to put some like fly traps in. We probably got to like make this place smell good. We got to cover up all the holes in the wall to the exterior so no more flies can get in. You just got to walk into a property as if you were a buyer. Last thing in the kitchen, you always got to look at the appliances, right? This one works. This one doesn't. So there's an electrical problem. So then we got to figure out what's wrong with the electric. So if you look at this, you got the vanity and the mirror, which is great. The problem is the light is off-centered. So again, small things, but the light actually has to be centered to look good. And then if you look up here to the top right, you look again at the painting issues. You know, there's all types of mismatch and scuffs and black marks on the ceiling. Like, that's not good. It has to be a clean job and it has to be painted correctly. And then some things in the house, like you just can't fix. Like this, for example. Watch this staircase. It literally goes straight up. The stairs are like super small and it's a very steep staircase, but it is what it is. So this is just one bedroom, super simple, you know, painted, carpet, we got closets, you know, nothing extraordinary in this property. So then we have another bedroom in here. We got a full closet, which is nice. We have like a whole bonus room, like office, I don't know, bonus section room, which is cool for it to be a master. Then if we come in here, we have another full bathroom. So if you look at the shower, again, the tile looks pretty good. The problem is when you look up here, this isn't painted. Like it has to be painted and look good. And if you see the nail holes too, they're not caulked, they're not painted. So you gotta make sure that looks good, because that is what buyers are gonna be looking at. It's the small details that'll kill you. But you know, we have the vanity, have the mirrors, everything else in here looks good. Really a lot of paint touch up is one of the biggest problems here. So it's super dark in the basement, or I'd take you down there and it's like short and it's hard to see. But one of the things is water gets into the basement, which is a normal thing when you have a basement. But the thing is here, if you look at the beginning of this video, there's no gutters on the house. So when it rains, the water just runs off the house straight into the basement. When you put gutters on it, the water will run to the gutters and out to the street. So you got to make sure that the water issue is fixed. Otherwise the basement's just going to keep getting water. So we're going to put gutters on. We're going to put landscaping so the dirt goes away from the house. So the water is now pushing away from the house and not into the house. It's the details that matter. When a buyer walks your property, when you list it for sale and you're hoping to make some money, the details is what's going to get you there. If the details are messed up, buyer's not going to buy the house. You're not going to make any money. The thing in real estate you got to understand, you make your money when you buy. You can never fix a bad buy, but you realize it when you sell. So you have to sell the house to realize the profit. So it's got to be detailed. It's got to be a good product so people actually buy the property. So again, this is the first thing that a homeowner walks into. When they walk up these stairs and into the door, this is the first thing that they're looking at. So we got to power wash it. We got to paint it. We got to paint this. We got to put the trim kit on the door. It has to look good to get a buyer to buy the house. So we bought this property for $58,500. Our budget was to put about $23,000 into the rehab of this. It's going to end up being a lot more than that, probably 30-ish, give or take, because we found some issues along the way that we had to fix, which again, that's why you have a contingency budget and that's why you buy the properties correctly. So if you do spend more money, you just make less instead of actually losing money. Hopefully going to sell this for about $140,000, which will put a profit in our pocket of about 35 to 40 grand at the end of the day. So hopefully in this market, once we get this punched out, you know, make sure it looks good. In this market, when we list it, we'll get our asking price, if not a little bit more, make the money that we wanted to make, and move on to the next deal. People always talk about this flipping and this making money, but they never show you the details. That's why I wanted to take you through this property so you can see exactly what I look at when I do final walkthroughs, and my team does final walkthroughs on houses. You gotta look at the details. So comment below, let me know what you learned from this video, or let me know what else you wanna see about flipping houses or rehabbing or construction or whatever it is. Comment below, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, hit that subscribe and notification bell so you can get all this content going forward. As always, appreciate you being here. We'll see you on the next one.